Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back, and you're listening again to Voltz Supreme Synth VGM Dream Stream Machine broadcast. Anyway, here's your host, alright? Voltz Supreme!
Alright, thank you, Bob, for that special introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you are well. Welcome to another episode of Voltz Supreme's Synth VGM Dream Stream Machine podcast, where we play the synthiest synth video game music in the universe. This episode should be a lot of fun. We're going to be checking out some super synthy remixes of some classic video game music. Now we're going to be listening to the remixes and briefly talking about what makes them special or effective, and also check out and compare them to their original tunes. And to help us do that, I thought we'd get Master Chef and music producer Oliver Ackhurst back on the show. So let's bring him on. Fellas and Sheilas, he's the owner of Le Beats Von Boo by Oliver Ackhurst. He's an accomplished music producer and he's an all-round top bloke. It's the man himself, Oliver Ackhurst.
As always, Voltz, it's an absolute pleasure to be on the show. Thanks.
Yeah, well, the pleasure's all mine, Ollie. Now, you've been on the show twice already, but I think I'm going to be releasing these episodes out of order. So, last time we did an episode together, it was Masashi Hamauzu's Masashiden 2 Blade Master soundtrack.
How could I forget, Voltz? What a splendid soundtrack from such a talented composer. Masashi really knows how to deliver delectable treats for the ears with passion and finesse.
Yeah,
it was just excellent.
He sure does. So, folks, that episode will be out soon. And we had a lot of fun doing that one. But I had a couple of people do remixes, especially for this episode. So I felt it really needed to be pushed to the front of the line. Anyway, as always, Ollie, we want to look at these remixes and treat them a bit like a recipe, kind of figure out what the key ingredients and techniques are that make them work. So I've already sent Ollie the original song so he could familiarize himself with the music, but he'll be hearing the remixes for the first time. So let's kick things off with a spectacular remix. We're going to be listening to a remix of Yoko Shimamura's Chung-Li theme from one of my all-time favorite soundtracks, Street Fighter 2. Now, apologies, but I'm not sure how to pronounce this title. It's got some Japanese kanji, which obviously makes things a little bit difficult for me. But let me give it a go. It's Sasakure.uk's remix, and it's titled Gomenne Kung Fu Remix from the Capcom album Street Fighter Compilation Remix Chiptune. Okay, I'm not going to say that again, but, check the descriptions for the proper name. All right, this is an amazing remix of an amazing song. I'm sure you'll all enjoy this, and this goes out to Kung Fu Carlito, who's a big fan of fighting games, and I know that he loves this remix. He told me so personally. So, yep, this goes out to you, Kung Fu Carlito, and everyone else you will no doubt enjoy.
This is Carlos, VGM lover and co-host of Heroes 3 podcast, and you're listening to Voltz Supreme's Synth VGM Dream Stream Machine podcast.
that's so good. So much energy. He's really taken the great melodies and just created something amazing that's still pretty true to the original song. It's also a pretty perfect mix of chiptune and non-chiptune sounds. I don't know, that's fantastic.
Oh my dearest heavens, oh good grief! Voltz, we are off to a smashing start. You are absolutely right. Look, nothing frustrates me more than seeing someone taking a beautiful ingredient like alright, Japanese, bluefin tuna, let's say Tuna King Kyoshi Kimura, one of the finest tunas available. Okay, what am I saying? Right, nothing frustrates me more than seeing someone take a beautiful ingredient and just overcrowding it with flavors. Just let the damn natural flavors speak for themselves. If you're gonna soak it in ponzu sauce and deep fry it, oh, for heaven's sake, just use your cheap and nasty yellowfin. But look, this remix has obviously taken the fine original ingredient, you said it was the melody, and treated it with just the utmost respect. Oh, that's a truly divine reinvention of an already fabulous dish. I love it! I love it! I love it!
Yeah, so you can hear the original tune playing in the background now. Actually, I don't actually know what the original version is. There's so many official versions of Street Fighter 2 for different consoles, and some of it's arranged by people other than Yoko Shimamura, like this one, I think. I think this is Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo, maybe. I don't even know. Anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't need to get bogged down with that. Let's move on. I think we all agree that that was a fantastic remix. Alright, so up next we have a remix of one of Disasterpeace's Fez tunes. If you like the Fez soundtrack, I recommend you check out the two Fez remix albums, FZ Side F and FZ Side Z. Side Z if you're American. Lots of great remixes on those albums from both fans and other well-known VGM composers. But this one is from FZ Side F, and it's by the man himself, Disasterpeace. The song is Synchrosynced, a remix of Sync. Alright, enjoy.
lot harder hitting than the original.
Yeah, it is.
Can't ignore that sidechain compression. You know, you can really use the sidechain compression like it's part of the instruments. Like a little bit of salt. You know, you don't just make your food salty. You use it as one of your ingredients. Oh, you know, you can... I don't know, that's just a very smart remix. It's taken some key ingredients like the main synth line, and the chord progressions, I think they're about the same, and it really made a new creation. Lovely stuff.
Yeah, you can't go wrong with that. Some nice little additions to make it a new song, but it's also got enough from the original that it's definitely a remix. So yeah, check out those Fez remix albums, people. FZ Side F and FZ Side Z. Yeah, head over to Disasterpeace's Bandcamp site, or I'm sure it's all on Spotify and stuff like that. Okay, well, let's go to something a little bit different now. This next remix is from the very talented composer Button Masher. I follow him on Instagram, and he's an amazing musician. His setup is basically like an organ. So he's got the bass pedals and the 2-tier keyboard. But he uses lots of chiptune sounds, which is pretty cool. He told me he uses a plugin called C700, which emulates a Super Nintendo sound card. So it's basically a mix of jazz and video game music. It's really, really unique stuff, and you should check out follow him on Instagram for lots of great videos. Anyway, he sent me his version of David Wise's Aquatic Ambience from Donkey Kong Country. And now, when you're listening to this, remember, folks, almost everything you hear besides the drums is live. He's doing the bass with his feet, the chords with one hand, and the lead with the other. So, okay, enjoy this live remix from Button Masher.
Talk about noodle fingers. This man really knows how to shred up a keyboard. That's a very talented performance.
Yeah, he's an incredible musician. Absolutely shreds on some of his solos. And he's just released a new album as well. It's really, really good. Origin Story by Button Masher. It's a really intense but enjoyable album. Lots of fun little bits in there, amongst a whole lot of crazy jazz kind of stuff. But anyway, it's that perfect mix of jazz fusion and video game sounds. I highly recommend checking it out, and also give him a follow on Instagram. It'll be worth it for you. It's cool to watch him do this stuff live. Just again, Origin Story by Button Masher. Definitely check it out. It's on Spotify, Bandcamp, I think. Get to it. Okay, so if you've been following what I've been up to over the past year, or even less, you'll probably know that I've been releasing a lot of VGM remixes. So far I've released 3 albums worth of stuff, and I basically take the original songs and recreate them using real analog synths. So I've got a lot of old 80s synths that I like to use. Classics like the Roland SH-101 or Roland Jupiter 6. But for the remixes, I often use my Roland Alpha Juno 2, which is a really nice polyphonic synth from 1986. And it is just perfect for video game music. I also like to use my Moog Little Fatty, which is a fairly modern monophonic synth. Okay, so let's just get to a tune, hey? This is a classic track, so I hope you enjoy this remix. It's Hydrocity Zone Act 2 from the amazing Sonic 3 soundtrack. I'm not too sure who wrote this, sorry. But for this track, I used the Moog Little Fatty for the bass and the melodies, and the Alpha Juno 2 for the polyphonic parts. So, yeah, enjoy.
synthesizer just really screams. It's almost like it's got its own voice.
If you get your two oscillators almost perfectly in tune, you get this really nice phasing effect that brings out all these really nice harmonics, and it really makes the sound come to life a bit, especially if you add a bit of overdrive or distortion or something. So that was from one of my Synth VGM remix albums. I've got 3 out now in all your favorite stores and streaming apps, etc. So go check them out if they interest you. But I don't want to spend too much time on my own stuff, so let's move on. Okay, here is something super synthy. It doesn't get any more synthy than this, folks. We're going to hear a remix of a song from Resident Evil 0. And look, this is pretty amazing, and you'll see why when we get to the original track after this. It's from Mono Memory, who does tons of amazing synthwave style remixes of video game music. Definitely worth checking out all his other remixes. Go to his Bandcamp site. I think he's got a little bit on Spotify as well. It's very well done. This is a remix of Rest from Resident Evil 0 from Mono Memory's album RE Mixed The Save Rooms. Enjoy. Alright, so there you go. That's great. And look, if you can hear the original in the background, I'm going to start it soon. And the remix has really taken something quite ordinary and made something quite amazing out of it. I'll play the original now.
What? No way! Voltz, when you sent me the original version of this song, I was pretty underwhelmed. I mean, I don't want to offend anyone who likes the original soundtrack, but this song is, I mean, it's pretty dull and simple. I mean, I'm sure it does its job, but It's hardly a song.
Yeah, it's nearly over as well already. There's almost nothing to the original. It's, 2 chords and a couple of extra notes, and he's created an entire song with different sections and everything. I'm impressed. That's great.
Look, serve me up a rich spaghetti bolognese with lots of saucy elements and peppery tidbits, and then tell me you base the entire dish on another meal that's basically a piece of raw beef and squashed tomato, and I'd slap you square and silly! Voltz, we should do an entire episode on his remixes. I am completely and utterly intrigued. How many more simple tunes can he take and create amazing songs out of? Oh, fantastic.
Yeah, you know what? That's probably not a bad idea, actually, for an episode. Maybe we can get him to send us a few comments on his remixes as well, see what his inspirations are. We'll see. Let me know in the comments if you'd like to hear that episode, folks. And yeah, I know there's not always comment sections when you're listening to a podcast. But look, if you want to get in touch, we've got a little Discord channel going at the moment, and anyone is welcome to join. You can chat about the episodes, send me your favorite synthy video game songs. I often will ask people to contribute to episodes on there as well. So look, yeah, you're all welcome to join. I try to put an invite link in the description of all the YouTube videos. So maybe if you're looking for a link, check the YouTube videos for these episodes. But yeah, it's nice to hear from people, and it's also fun to collaborate with everyone as well. So anyway, let's get to our next tune. Let's do another live remix. This one is from the very talented Super Marcato Brothers, who not only have one of the best VGM podcasts going, but they also write lots of amazing original material. And yep, you guessed it, do a lot of live covers of classic video game tunes. So this is the Super Marcato Brothers performing Beginning from Castlevania 3, composed by Hidenori Maezawa, Jun Funahashi, and Yuki Morimoto.
Oh, Morimoto. Well, that reminds me of one of my favorite Iron Chefs, Masaharu Morimoto.
All right, let's not get distracted. Yeah, enjoy this live performance, folks. that is a pretty solid performance right there.
Well, Voltz, it's one thing to do a remix. It's another thing entirely to actually perform it. Oh, that was absolutely pucker. Fantastic performance.
Yeah, they're definitely very talented, the Super Marcato brothers. And one thing they do which takes things to another level again, is that they write original songs in the style of certain game soundtracks and composers. So they've done a few of these albums where it's been like Super Mario Galaxy style songs, or Zelda, Sonic, Kirby. I'm sure there's more, and it's all original music, but they've studied the original compositions, they've figured out the key ingredients, and then they make something new, but it really does sound like it could stand alongside the original scores. It's really, really clever, and sometimes they'll even use the same sounds that were used in the original composition, or in the original soundtrack, sorry. Yeah, and plus they've got their solo albums, which are all really amazing. Their imaginary video game soundtracks, which are also really good. And they're usually always collaborations with Kung Fu Carlito, who helps come up with the, I guess, the theme of the game, the background story, and the artwork. But they haven't done many actual video game soundtracks, which is a shame. And I'm sure you already know, but the Super Marcato brothers host one of the best VGM podcasts, in my opinion. It's very heavily focused on the composition side of the songs, rather than talking about the games, which I think is probably what really sets them apart. They know their music theory and are consistently pumping out great episodes, hundreds of episodes actually. At this point, 418 as I'm recording this.
418!
But okay, enough about that. Sorry, Ollie, I got sidetracked there.
No. It's all very interesting. I'm just I just don't know much about this video game scene, so I'm always very interested to have my palette expanded.
Yeah. Okay, well, let's quickly get to our next remix. This is another one that was sent to me specifically for this episode. Folks, I've already spoken too much, so let's just get to it. This is a real treat. Enjoy this tune, and we'll talk more when we come back. It's a remix of Koji Kondo's title theme from the classic game The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Enjoy this amazing remix by Pete Wonder.
My scallops, Voltz, that was so tasty and delicious. I don't think I'll ever be able to cook uni the same way ever again. Oh, my life has been changed. I really need you to get like an hour version of that, please.
We'll see what I can do.
Look, honestly, if I was working in my restaurant and one of my sous chefs were working on a new spectacular dish and served me up something that tasty yet, how do I say this, something that short, I would probably pick him or her up by their trouser pants and slap them right up to the point of death. And obviously I'd stop because I need them to recover and produce the same thing again, but in a much larger quantity. Look, I feel like Mr. Wonderstone is playing with us, Voltz, sending us something so damn delicious. Yet not enough to even fill 2 minutes.
All right, Ollie. Yeah, I really love that. I asked Pete if he wanted to do a remix for the episode, and I had no idea what he was going to do, but, you know, that was excellent stuff. You should all definitely go and check out Pete Wonder's original music on iTunes or Spotify, wherever it is you want to listen to your music. He writes some really nice, chilled out synth music. It's just great stuff. He definitely knows his synths, and he's an excellent producer. Also go and check him out on Instagram. He puts out lots of good stuff like this, at least once a week, sometimes more. I've actually watched him a few times do these. I think it's like a song a day, 1 month challenge, and man, the amount of quality stuff he was able to pump out every single day was pretty impressive. So yeah, good stuff, Pete. Thanks heaps for sending that in. Appreciate it. All right, Ollie, I think we're at the end of the road.
Voltz, I had all these food metaphors written down, and I didn't get to use any of them.
No worries, Ollie. I will definitely have you back on, so save your food metaphors for next time. And everyone stay tuned for our Musashiden 2 Blade Master episode, which will probably release within a few weeks' time. Thanks, Ollie. Thank you all for tuning in.
My
and
pleasure.
Big thanks to everyone who sent me synth remixes of their favorite video game tunes. All right, well, it's my podcast, so I'm going to end with another one of my remixes. I've been a little bit surprised with this track. I put it on YouTube, and it's one of my most popular synth remixes. I've got Sonic, Mario, Zelda, Kirby, Wave Race 64, Final Fantasy, Streets of Rage, Mega Man, you name it. The list goes on. Lots of pretty popular stuff on there. But one of my most popular uploads is from the game Mother 3, which I think is great. And it's recently been Mother's Day, so it's very fitting that I close with Murasaki Forrest from Mother 3, composed by Shogo Sakai. Thanks for tuning in, folks. Remember that sharing is caring. Thank you, Ollie.
My pleasure.
And everyone, stay synthetic.